Have you ever found yourself at a crossroads, enveloped by uncertainty, and yearned for a guiding hand? Have you ever questioned whether you're truly being led by a higher power, especially when the path seems obscured? Today, in our deep dive into the first chapter of Exodus, we shall explore how trusting in divine guidance amid uncertainty can transform not only your present circumstances, but the very fabric of your life. As we embark on this journey, we find ourselves standing alongside the Israelites in the ancient land of Egypt, a place filled with towering pyramids and potent pharaohs, a world where our familiar desire for stability meets a backdrop of oppression and fear. It's here in Exodus chapter 1, where God's subtle yet profound presence begins to weave through their narrative. We are not simply recounting a historical exodus, but unraveling a journey that echoes across time into our lives today. Now, picture this. You are an Israelite living under the tyranny of Pharaoh. Life is laborious. Oppression is your daily bread. Yet in the midst of bondage and struggle, a profound lesson emerges. Trust in God's guidance even when you can't see the path ahead. Verses 1 through 22 of Exodus remind us that the Israelites, despite the harsh tasks that Pharaoh imposed, thrived in number. So greatly, in fact, that it struck fear into the very heart of Egypt's mighty ruler. Here's the crux of our lesson. Pharaoh's decree to oppress the Israelites mirrored the uncertainties we face today. His orders, born of fear, were to manage what appeared overwhelming. And isn't it true of us? We too attempt to manage chaos or control the uncontrollable, whether in our careers, relationships, or personal quests, often to no avail. In the bustling chaos and imposed hardships, the Israelites, unaware, were being guided toward a higher purpose, just as we are, in times of trial. Let's consider the midwives, Shiphrah and Puah. Their story, tucked within these verses, is a beacon of faith against fear. With quiet defiance, they chose to trust in God's moral compass over Pharaoh's oppressive demands. It's here we see the first flickers of divine guidance, an invitation to trust in something greater than fear, an assurance that echoes through every generation. And here's where the majesty of divine orchestration floods in. For those like Pharaoh, whose visions were clouded by fear, trusting seemed foolish. Yet, as the Israelites' numbers grew, even under duress, it was as if God gently whispered, "Hold fast, for I am with you." Consider now your life. In what instances do you find yourself holding on to a path, a vision, a plan that isn't bearing fruit? What if, like the Israelites, we're being led towards something unseen, a freedom awaiting just beyond our fears? Trust in God's guiding hand transforms uncertainty into potential, Pharaoh's threats into promises yet fulfilled. Imagine standing with Shiphrah and Puah, choices before you guided not by the presence of fear, but by faith. As we draw parallels to our modern world, we perceive how fear of the unknown often shackles our potential. Instead, through divine trust, we are freed to embrace possibilities that once seemed locked away, a lesson that reverberates through this passage into our lives today. If you feel in some small way as these biblical figures did, swayed by uncertainty or confined by what lies beyond your control, know this: with every moment of trust, God's guidance becomes an anchor, steadying your resolve amid life's tumultuous seas. Reflect for a moment. In what part of your life might you let go and trust that divine guidance is gently leading you onward? Consider how this newfound trust could revolutionize your perspective, transforming your uncertainties into channels of grace and growth. Now, if you believe, truly believe with conviction that beyond uncertainty lies divine guidance waiting to unfold, I invite you to declare your faith in the comments below by saying, "I believe and wait." Together, let's create a community where we trust in the path laid before us, both seen and unseen. As we close this chapter of Exodus today, may we walk away wrapped in the assurance that God's guidance is steadfast, even in shadowed times. Let the narrative of the Israelites inspire us to yield to the divine journey, embracing each uncertainty as an invitation to grow in faith. Stay with me as we continue exploring the rich tapestry of Exodus. Next, we'll delve into chapter 2, where the story of Moses begins its stirring crescendo, a tale of promise and divine purpose that further unveils the depth of God's wisdom and guidance. Subscribe, stay engaged, and let us continue this transformative voyage together. Until next time, consider the seeds of trust planted today and how they may flourish in your life. Remember, even amid uncertainty, Divine guidance is ever present, ready to lead you towards your destined path. May you move forward in hopeful anticipation, knowing that each step, though unseen, brings you closer to divine fulfillment.